All right, so today was an interesting day for the Trump campaign and for all things that pertain to the election. We'll start out with the Wisconsin Supreme Court hearing. Now, Wisconsin showed a lot of deep divisions today as it contemplated a final push by Trump to try to get a win over Biden in Wisconsin. So it's very rare for them to argue on the weekend, but they did. And during the argument, a federal judge in Milwaukee had ruled against Trump, dealing another defeat to Trump. However, it was immediately appealed, and now, even though the Supreme Court had decided against taking this case a week ago, now they're going to go ahead and take it because it has gone through the process of the lower courts. On Wisconsin Supreme Court, they have 3 liberals, 3 conservatives, and they have sort of a swing voter that was put in place by a Republican. So it's kind of hard to say which way that they're going to lean, but we'll kind of get into that. The 3 conservatives showed some support for at least parts of Trump's claims, but unclear are the views that this one justice, Brian Hagedorn, he was elected last year. We don't know which way he's going to go on these things. And in the latest case, the judges are expected to rule before the Electoral College. And so we're in a situation where they're looking at it, they're going over it, but so far they have not made a decision. So as most people know, in Antrim County, 22 Dominion voting machines were taken in for forensic investigation. And these machines have been looked at, and now we know that there are some results. However, it seems that the leadership of Michigan wants to prevent the release of this information. The Secretary of State petitioned, and a judge allowed the state to intervene in the case. So it would seem then that Michigan thinks they have something to hide, or this investigation is showing something they don't want to be seen. What would be any reason for them to want to hide this? Don't you think at this point they would want to have transparency if that transparency was not damaging to them? So it seems that whatever has been found to this point may very well be damaging to the Biden campaign. Otherwise, they wouldn't be trying so hard to not show anyone. Okay, so it seems that the Trump team is going to file new lawsuits in all of the battleground states that Texas was targeting, because as you know, the Texas case was thrown out based on Article 3 saying that it wasn't any of Texas's business what was going on in other states. It wasn't harming them. And so it is definitely the case that it's harming President Trump. And so now they're going to take the merits of the Texas case and they're going to make filings in each of the individual states. And this is going to be Trump's team doing this. Now, Sidney Powell also has already put in her bid to get more cases heard. She's got Supreme Court cases in Arizona, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Georgia, of course. And so Sidney Powell is still on the prowl. So Sidney Powell has indeed put filings in for the Supreme Court hearings in all 4 states. It says, pay attention. We made emergency filings in Supreme Court tonight for Georgia and Michigan. It says we'll be filing Arizona, Wisconsin shortly. These cases raise constitutional issues and prove massive something or other that cannot be discussed here on this platform. Our plaintiffs do have standing. We, the people, are going to do something here. All right, so, and then it says later on, Sidney also tweeted that the Arizona case was just filed, and so they're going to keep firing away at these things until they have them all done. And so Sidney Powell certainly has not laid down the sword, nor has Linwood, who actually does have a case docketed for Georgia. This thing is far from over, and I think it's very interesting that as the days go by, it becomes more and more hidden. But there was this huge Trump rally in Washington, D.C. today. They had the Jericho March. They had tens of thousands of people there. Of course, President Trump, he came out to show his appreciation for all that these people was doing. Of course, the Proud Boys was there and was attacked by Antifa, and a few people got stabbed, of course, as you would expect. The election dispute is not over. I'm still very, very disappointed in the Supreme Court and how they were too afraid to even take a case. And I just wonder if the Wisconsin Supreme Court decides to make a decision and it was appealed to the Supreme Court, what would they do? Then they would be forced into a situation where they'd have to make a call, and boy, would that be inconvenient for them. You'd be very, very hard-pressed to tell me that the military isn't behind President Trump. The response to him at the Army-Navy game was really awe-inspiring, and really I felt very, very good about it. As being a retired military person myself, it was good to see, because I've heard so much lately about, oh, the military's not behind Trump anymore. He thinks or they think that he's a bad guy, and now because he called some people suckers and losers, which he did not. And so it was heartwarming to hear that little clip to me. So while this might be a little bit all over the place, it's basically to show that Trump still has very widespread support. And it's going to be a curious thing to see how people react if this doesn't go well. I definitely don't want to see civil war. I don't want to see bloodshed or people get hurt and things of that nature. But it's getting to the point where it's hard to imagine that we have a way out of this, because no matter which way this goes, somebody's going to be very unhappy. And I know I've been pretty unhappy with how it's gone so far. But that's about what I have today. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you in a while.